The money is in the simplicity. This is something that is it's so simple, yet and everyone's trying to overcomplicate it. The more the business is growing, the less deliverables that we want to have, and then always have other deliverables that people can have in the future. The biggest mistake that I've made over the past 8 months is at scale, when we've been taking on more clients, we've been doing more things, we've been adding more complexity to the business when we should be solving more specific problems for our clients and just becoming the best in the world at that one thing instead of trying to do everything for them. But now that we are changing this, I know that it will be more of a plug and play system where we will be able to, instead of take on 1 or 2 clients per month, take on 10 clients per month. And the business is going, and I'm not going to say it might, the business is going to 10x over the next 9 to 12 months. I guarantee it. And that just comes down to being more specific with the problems that we were solving. So let me show you real tangible things, what we were actually changing, what we were doing, and what the takeaway is for someone that's really starting to try and grow their business. So we have a marketing agency doing all of the organic media. I started with just long form YouTube video with a lot of large businesses like Robert Kiyosaki and a bunch of like real estate guys like Ken McElroy, George Gammon, many people that had substantial revenue in their business that I would come in as a growth partner to help them juice the views, create some super simple funnel, and convert those views to customers and work on a profit share. That ended up being incredibly successful as a high-paying job, but that is not a business. So then I was saying, okay, how can we turn this into a business? The big problem I did was instead of just sticking to that one thing and then potentially doing short-form views, we tried to become an all-in-one agency right away with skills that are outside of my realm of where I see the most success. I said, okay, we're going to do all your LinkedIn, we're going to do all your X, we're going to do all the copywriting, and that one portion of the business is by far the worst performing. It's where I have the least knowledge on, and it's what the clients value the least. What they value the most is get as many long form and as many short form views as possible and convert those views into sales. And so with that hyper specific problem, it's then a very clear KPI. Are we hitting the view metrics? Are we hitting the conversion metrics? And if we are, everything is good, then we'll start to run paid ads for you and we'll start to expand and do more things. If we are not, then what are we doing wrong? But now we only have to be very good at 2 things: getting views, converting those views. So we'll have a growth operator and a content specialist and then some community posters. Instead of adding all the other complexity and layers into what we were doing, that was adding to be a more chaotic, more friction, and shit business. Just pick a lane and solve a very hyper-specific problem. That is what is going to scale us to multi-7 figures per month. I guarantee 100% guarantee it. And then you can always incorporate copywriting and all these other components into the business as we scale, and especially when you start to take on more enterprise clients. But I saw some of the competitors, and I was looking at the competitors where we want to be that are doing $500 million per year, and they were doing the all-in-one service. Well, you didn't start with the all-in-one service. You start with one thing very good, and then you can always broaden and expand and hire new people in those different departments. So that was the big mistake that we made, and where we're going to get the biggest growth. So now I'm going to experiment with this, and I'm going to try and message. I have a lot of friends that are potential clients, and I'm going to try and message a few of them and say, hey, we have this new offer. Here's what we're going to do. Get you as many views as humanly possible, build you a basic funnel to convert those to your business. Here's what all the KPIs would look like. Here's the deliverables. Here's everything. And I don't know if it's going to work for you. You know my other clients. You know what we've done. And so because of that, we want to charge it at this price, but we're going to start with you at a lower price. And because we don't know if it's going to work, we want to use you as a test dummy and as testimonials for proof of concept. And we want to prove this concept, and then we are going to continuously scale. This is something that I actually got from the webinar goat, Jason Fladman, when he was rolling out an offer a long time ago. It started with, hey, you know that I was very successful with webinars, but I don't know if this is going to work for you. I want to help you do it, but I don't know if it's going to work. So I want to use the first 20 people as a test trial, as proof of concept, that we're going to record and document the journey that we have with you at a lower price than what we want to sell it for, but to get the testimonials and to show people what we can do. And then he rolled that into the next crew, which was, okay, you saw these next group of people. we are going to do this for you. And so that's the exact strategy that we're going to take to probably get a doubling of revenue in the next 2 months. And then I think that we will continuously be able to double for quite a while, which is insane, especially when the numbers get so big. But having replicable systems and plug and play processes and knowing what you have to be the best in the world at and solving for that. The hard part is actually getting the views and closing those views. But we've already seen tremendous amount of success for a lot of our clients. Now it's just finding the right people, having the right onboarding system for both employees and for clients, having very clear expectations, and then just scaling the fuck out of it, which is exactly what we were going to do. This guy is scaling the fuck out of his business that he actually just sold. And so now we are just sitting here in this mega castle, which is what it looks like, just jamming out. I'm leaving tonight, unfortunately. Luke's going to have to go back to just his struggling life here, buying Ferraris.
Yeah, I'm going to be stuck solo with Latina with none of the boys around. It's going to be a sad time.
And so the main takeaway is solve a very clear problem. You do not need to solve multiple problems until you start to make 7 figures per month. That means it's very clear. To get from 0 to 10K, you need a skill that people are willing to pay for. To get from 10K to 100K per month, you need you need systems in place to train people to do what you did for other people. To get from $100,000 per month to $1 million a month, I think all you need to do is solve one problem for one type of person, and then you need to have a way to get clients. So how do you get customers? And then have that plug and play system for servicing those customers. And so you need to have an acquisition channel and then a way to service those clients. And my skills and weaknesses, for me, my biggest skill is getting clients and attracting clients to the business. I would very easily be able to do the marketing for the business to get substantial clients. For me, it's very hard to operate and systematize everything. That's what I've struggled with. And so that's why I really need a great operator, like CEO type of person that can do a lot of the operations, set and manage people, which is not my skill set. Nor do I want to do that. You got to know what you're good at. You have to know what you like doing. I fucking hate managing people. It sucks. It's always going to suck. But it's the most necessary thing in terms of scaling an operation.